Princess Eugenie's husband Jack Brooksbank could not hide his nervousness as he came under the global spotlight for the first time today. Mr. Brooksbank, a drinks industry executive, married into the royal family at a grand ceremony at St. George's Chapel in the grounds of the Queen's Windsor Castle today. With TV cameras focusing on him, he struggled to get his wife's wedding ring on her finger when it came to his big moment. His newly wedded wife did her best to keep him calm, however, telling him to hold her hand as they sat together during the ceremony. It came after he was seen rubbing his eyes in an apparent attempt to stem emotional tears before the service. And he seemed shocked by the crowd which had assembled outside the chapel as the couple emerged after the ceremony. Eugenie encouraged him to kiss her, saying "Let's kiss," and the crowd cheered, as Jack's nervousness seemed to ebb away. After the live TV broadcast of the ceremony and a carriage ride around the packed Windsor, the royal couple will now be able to enjoy a more private reception, hosted by the Queen. Body language expert Judy James told Mail Online, "This did seem like a royal baptism by fire for the rather shy-looking Jack, who arrived rubbing his hands anxiously and needing to be nudged by his brother before waving to the waiting crowds." Ms. James added, as he waited for his bride to arrive, a strength of emotion showed as his tears began. He removed his glasses to wipe each eye with his finger, but later he was having to use the well-known trick of pressing his fingers to his septum to try to stop himself crying, waiting looking down with his head dropped as though lost in thought and with one arm performing a body barrier. His expression of open-mouthed delight, love and possibly relief as Eugenie arrived was still very tear-stained, and during the vows he chose to peek rather than stare at her, presumably to avoid making things worse. He clearly gained strength from her though, when she flashed her broad grin at him and rubbed their clasped hands with his thumb in a gesture of loving reassurance. Last week, Mr. Brooksbank admitted being terrified ahead of the wedding to 28-year-old Eugenie. He told Daily Mail diarist Sebastian Shakespeare, "I'll need to take a few minutes for myself before the speeches because I'm terrified. It's very exciting but I'm a little bit nervous." Mr. Brooksbank is a former waiter who spurned university and a job in the city to set himself up in the pub trade. Once nicknamed Barman Jack in his Chelsea social circle, he has since worked his way up through some of the capital's trendiest bars and night spots. But the 32-year-old has moved to put any idea of his being a party animal behind him in recent years, setting up a respectable wine merchant's business. In the weeks before the couple's engagement was announced in January, he was snapped with friends promoting Casamigos tequila, the brand for whom he is an ambassador, which used to be part-owned by Hollywood star George Clooney. Mr. Brooksbank is the son of old Etonian chartered accountant George Brooksbank and his wife Nicola. Please subscribe channel. Thank you for watching.